So as you all know, I've launched Virtual Kicking. So if you haven't visited the platform, please check it out. I'm actually going to go at the end of this video and show you all exactly everything that this platform has to offer. I've been doing Zoom calls with a bunch of families, and they're just blown away of how much content is there, how user-friendly it is, how specific it is per day, and it tells you exactly what to do and how to do it, and also the recruiting piece of getting exposure with the situation we're in right now. So stay tuned at the end of this, and I'll work through this. Any questions you have, just drop them in the comments. So I have a few different people that submitted some videos that we're going to go through and work through today. I'm first going to talk through some field goals, and then we'll go with some punts. Field goals, and then punts. All right. So as always, feel free to drop in questions as we go. And I'm going to bounce back and forth from showing you clips to the drills. I'm actually go into the drill library to Virtual Kicking's library to show you all different drills that are in there to utilize based on the technique we're looking at. All right, let's have a look. Let's look at it in slow motion. So first thing I see he's nice and relaxed. I'm watching this jab step real quick. All right, I always like to check out the toes and the jab step first. Check out that alignment. I really like the point of that toe. That's his plant foot. It's going right to where his spot is. This left toe is pointed out here, and that's really depending on what you like. I usually like to coach guys to point their kicking toe at the ball, but there's plenty of NFL guys that point it over here. Really what's comfortable and fluid for you, that's what you have to stick with. All right. I like it. Jab step is up and down. Notice where this right toe ends up though. It's pointing straight at the ball. So that's a good look because it helps control the hips from rotating left to right, keeps it going directly at the ball as well. So one thing I really want to give a shout out is this backswing. I think we had a really good looking backswing. Looking that ankle is locked. Really nice high angle on that backswing. I like that this chest is nice and tall as well. Looks good. Now let's see some things that we can maybe tweak or improve. Pretty good contact. I like the straight leg, the pointed toe as well. I'm looking right here at the ankle lock. Just depending on your foot flexion, I think that heel could be back a little bit so that the bone of your foot is striking the ball a little bit cleaner. But overall, that's not too bad. The one thing I do want to caution you with is this arm. So you're swinging it out and then it's coming down. And this arm coming down is going to, in reaction, pull the shoulder down and it's going to kind of work against you. You want to keep the shoulder turned, yes, but you don't want to work down in a crunching position. You still want to be tall, just your chest facing the ball. And then it looks like we stay in the ground quite a bit on this follow through. If this arm stayed up a little higher up here, instead of being down here, we brought it up. I think the reaction would be this follow through would carry up and through a little bit higher. So it's going to give you a better follow through. And then really work that skip. I'm going to pull in a drill about working that skip downfield. I think is very helpful as well. Let me pull up one more video and then we'll jump into a couple of drills that can address a few of these techniques. So what I'm looking at is a few different things. I'm looking for consistency with his earlier swing and maybe some things that are different. I think in general, I'm seeing a low follow through. So from contact, we're putting that foot back on the ground. So really what we want to do is this shoulder right here, we want facing the ball. So we want our chest facing the ball. I'm sorry. I want the shoulder pointing to our spot in the uprights. I want our chest facing the ball. What that allows us to do is not crunch, stay tall, but keep this follow through on the finish going towards our upright. As you can see the path of his follow through, once he makes contact with the ball, he's coming out, but he's bailing out left here and putting it down on the ground right away. You want to make sure that once you lock out and you follow through, that you're carrying that frame. And almost it's like a freeze, right? If I zoomed in here, if any kicker could freeze their follow through for just a split second and allow themselves to slide down the field with their foot going towards their target, they're going to have more consistency on a lot of their kicks. So something to consider going forward. Now let's look at one more field goal. And then I'm going to go into a few field goal drills. Feel free to drop any questions you have as well. What's up, Aiden? How we doing, brother? I see you, man. All right, let's watch this. A little bit longer field goal. Looks about 49 yards. Now, this kid has a ton of power. I've seen him post a bunch of stuff. Really like his technique because it's the same every time. The one thing I would caution him with and caution you with is coming up off the ground. Right here, his entire body's off the ground. And for me as a coach, I'm zooming in really at this knee. I really want to see, does that knee bend whenever he plants, or does it stay strong? And you see how it kind of gives out, right? So he's long, he's pretty long here, but the second that he puts all the weight on that knee, it bends a little bit, okay? And that bend, what happens is, let me get rid of this box real quick. What happens is this knee bends, actually, let's do it this way. The knee bends out, so then it bells those hips out. And then the reaction to that is you have a flatter follow through. When reality, if he was a little bit stronger on his plant foot, that he would have a higher follow through from here. Instead of it being a follow through here, he could come up higher. So he's creating a higher trajectory ball. But it all starts with his steps. It looks like he's jumping into his last step, and that's putting a ton of force going down into the ground. It's really tough for a lot of kids to jump and take force into the ground, but stay long and tall and strong and finish up and through with a higher follow through. So I would say either shorter steps or faster steps. Either way, the distance from here to here is going to be shorter, so you're not jumping as much. Everything else looks really clean, man. Look at those shoulders. Look at that off arm. That off arm looks good. That chest is facing the ball. His eyes are down. I mean, really, really great technique. That's just a quick tweak that I would say, because on the finish, I'm right here looking at the finish of his foot in slow motion. It's a little bit slower on the trajectory of his follow through. I would like a quicker follow through coming up and through a little higher. Just something to consider going forward. So I want to go back to the platform, and I want to go to the video libraries, and you can see there's technique videos, drill videos, explosive strength, flexibility, everything you need. I'm going to go to the drills, and then within the drills, there are field goal drills, there's punt drills, kickoff drills, all the different drills you need to utilize to really develop your stuff is going to be right there. So the one I want to work on is I'm going to do as you can see, there's a ton of drills here for you guys to look at. I'm going to do the 45-degree skip drill. All you do is click on it and it pops up for you. And what that is you're putting 3 cones, maybe a piece of tape, maybe chalk on the ground, maybe you're in your driveway, but you're going to take your steps and you're going to work on your follow through going downfield. Let me see if I can get off my Wi-Fi real quick to speed this up. There we go. All right, so the reason we have the cones here is we're trying to work down the field. We don't want to go over and lose power to the left. We want to work downfield. So that's one simple drill that I would do. The second one I would do is the crossbar drill. And you can actually do this even without a field. So notice where I am is probably 6 yards, 7 yards deep from the upright. All you're doing is really emphasizing the height, getting that ball up. And what that's going to start with is a tall chest and a quick, high follow through. So something that you can kind of work on. I would do this as a warm-up kick first, and then really pulling up and through, right? Really work that height. As you get closer, you can really challenge yourself later on. But I would definitely pay attention to those two field goal drills, add those as well. And as you can see, the Virtual Kicking Library has a ton of drills, technique videos, plans, even has a 12-week program we'll go through here in a little bit. So let's look at a couple punts. Go ahead and drop those questions as well. We'll be checking those out. All right, let's run through this real quick. Y'all can see it live. Coming right at your living room. So a big thing for a lot of you guys, right? You're not having a snapper or holder or anything like that right now. So it's really important to make it as game-like as possible. Right when I look here, the ball is in the middle of his body. And what you actually want to do, instead of having it in the middle of your body, we should have it out here on his hip. And the reason I know he wants it out there on his hip is because that's actually where he gets to, right? If this is his first spot where it's at, now let's run through it. Look where it is now, off to the side. You want to start with where you want that ball to be. So instead of starting with the middle of your body and then moving it outside, I want you to catch and mold and put it right there on your hip or wherever your shelf level is right away. That way it's on the path a little bit longer. It's going to help with some consistency there. The second thing, before I'm looking at his first step, it is a flat step on the balls of the foot, which is awesome. But the one thing I think is this off arm is coming off the ball way too quick, right? It's coming off. It should stay on there a lot longer to keep those shoulders facing forward longer. If this arm opens, if this left arm, if his right arm opens, it's going to open up his chest a little too soon. We want those shoulders forward a little longer. But really great drop. Look how perfectly still that is, right? It looks like it's slightly turned in, looking flat. Like some people say, should you have the nose down or up or inside? You really got to play with it based on what you like. I personally think it should be flat and slightly turned in. For some higher level punters that I work with, I might have them turn it down a little bit. There's some that I actually have turned up slightly. So because when it turns over with the NFL balls, it actually drops pretty quickly. So you actually want those NFL balls to stay flat and they come down a little slower, increase that hang time. All right, but I really like his position here. The only thing I would say is this left arm coming off so quick. Notice what it then does to the shoulder. You see how that shoulder kind of drops open, right? It's really kind of going to make him fall back. You really, as a punter, want to focus on keeping those shoulders forward over your toes as long as possible before your swing. But I really like that toe flexion, that toe pointed up and through. And notice where his follow through is. Oh, excuse me. Notice where his follow through is. It's right up and through the middle of his body. Really good swing. Obviously, you want to be picture perfect. Sometimes you come off to the side, but really work to stay vertical with that toe extended, straight leg on the finish. All right, let's have one more. I believe it's from the side as well. So if you're unsure on virtual kicking on YouTube, there's some demo videos. If you just go to virtualkicking.com under resources, there's a virtual kicking tab. Just click that. It shows you the angles to properly film for these. So feel free, film those, send those to me, whether it's text message or direct message. Let me know what I can do to help. Oh, you came in quick. He's out of the picture. Okay. So this is the one I wanted to bring up mainly because of the distance covered. All right. I think when we take this hand off the ball, like we're doing here, when we let go of that ball, it's in the air a little too long. And so what happens is we end up kind of taking a last step that's so far that we get too close to the ball and we jam ourselves up. All right, so I think we're a little close at contact here and we're falling back just slightly. But one thing I really recommend you guys do is do running videos. That way I can see, you can see the tendencies that's consistent and that's inconsistent. So you can look at, these are out of the 3 balls, these 2 were good. This one was the bad one. All right, what separates the bad one from the good ones? Let's target that technique and fix it. So now what I want to do is just go back to our video library, and now we're going to look at the punt drills. As you can see, there's quite a few punt drills in here, but I think the biggest one that I want you all to push you all to do is just the catch and mold. And it kind of goes back to, you have to mimic a snap. So if you're in high school and you don't have a good snapper, right, you want to catch that ball all different spots and put it right there on your shelf. Catch it, get it set right away. This is something you can do over and over and over. Catch it at the ground. You can catch it at the ground, above your head. All of those things will get you in a habit of setting that ball right away. Because the second you touch it, now you're in control of your consistency. You're going forward with your kick or your punt, and that's what's making you consistent. So that is the punts. That's the field goals. I didn't have anybody submit kickoffs. If you want to look at that next week, feel free to let me know. But now what I want to do is I want to take you back inside the virtual kicking platform and just kind of show you guys. So if any of you are interested, at the bottom of any of the pages, there is a schedule free demo. Free feel to click it. You're going to do a Zoom call with me, with you, your parents, whoever you need. And I'm going to take you through step by step of how it can be useful specifically for you. But like I said before, there's a resource tab, any of the Zoom workouts, the recruiting pieces there. All the film that we've done are in here. I also have some pro film that I've done as well, breaking down pro film. But I really want you all to look at this training tab, and this is what's unlocked for you guys. So the assessment is, you're going to chart yourself every 3 months so we can track progress. The bread and butter of this entire platform is the 12-week off-season program. And what it is 12 weeks every single day. I tell you exactly what to do and how to do it to be successful. So each and every day when you log in, it's going to tell you exactly what to do. So let's take day 2, for example. You have flexibility in the morning. So when you wake up, you're going to click flexibility. It's going to come up. Right here on the right, it's going to show you exactly what stretches you're doing that day for how long. Each one of them have a video of me demonstrating each and every one of them. So you don't have to think, you don't have to research, you don't have to look around. It's all right here on the platform for you. How about later that day? Later that day, we're going to click practice plan. You're going to go out to the field. Now, instead of going out in the field and just kicking and doing a couple drills here and there, you have a systematic program that has been proven to work. Numerous kids have done this program locally in our area that are now playing Division I football. This is the same structure for them that I did in person that you're going to have the ability and access as well wherever you're at, whether you're in high school or you're in college or professionally. And so it tells you exactly what drills to do and how to do them in order of how many reps. So maybe you don't know one of these drills. All we're going to do is just click on it, and it's going to demo each and every one of the drills. Every single one of these drills has a video to go along with it, and you're going to do it in this order. After that, you're just clicking complete, and now you're tracking progress at the top. So every time you log in, you can see how much progress you have to complete that week. So we completed flexibility, our practice plans. Now we have our strength program, and the strength piece is huge. So many people that I've talked to that have been doing on the strength program as a test are having massive numbers, especially on kickoff. I had a few different guys tell me that they were doing like a 3-step 60-yard kickoff before they started the program, and now 6 weeks into the program, only halfway through, they're hitting it through the uprights. So a ton of distance is being added because of the strength piece. And so here's the strength program. These are the warm-ups you can do as well that are specifically designed for kickers and punters. The strength program was written by a top-level strength coach designed for kickers and punters in mind. So it just says step by step of what to do each day, just like any other drill. This has a video to go along with each and every exercise as well. And as you can see, this is just 1 week of it. There's 10 different practice plans. There's all kinds of stuff in here that I could go over. But one of the biggest things I would add to that is the recovery piece. We actually have a recovery workout to recover your muscles because you're working them hard. Just think of the camps that you're going to go to, or maybe you're in season and you're over kicking. We even have a recovery workout to recover your muscles as well. But this is just the 12-week program. All right, let me take you back to the platform. And now you can go to plans. Now you can look at any one of, these plans and click on them. So practice plans, all your practice plans are available to you anytime. All the links are available to all of the drills. Also, you can have all your flexibility, right? All your stretching routines are on here as well. Anything you need or want as a kicker or punter, it's all right here. Even the strength program is even broken out that you can utilize that as well. I've actually had multiple high school coaches tell me that they're subscribing specifically for the strength program alone for their entire team. And that's just plans. The video library is the other piece. So we have technique videos, drills, everything you need is broken down and explained to you in a very systematic way. So notice right here for field goals, punts, and kickoffs, there are videos. They're mostly about 5 or 6 minutes long, breaking down step by step how to kick, how to punt, how to kick off. And there's also demos within those videos of me coaching other kickers and punters to explain exactly how that's to be done. So there's also a mental piece. There's also nutritional plans and a coaching corner. If you have any questions or want to know more, feel free to just set up a call through Zoom on the website. Be glad to help you guys out in any way I can. Hope this is enjoyable, and we'll see you all on Wednesday.